Let us take a brief look at the establishment, adaptation, and spread of Chinese cuisine in Africa, and particularly how it began gaining momentum in Kenya from around the year 2000 to the present. The story is not simply about food. It is also a story of cultural exchange, adaptation, hospitality, and people discovering one another through the dining table. Around the beginning of the new millennium, cultural exchange programs between China and Kenya brought Chinese performers, artists, and cultural groups to Kenya. One particularly memorable moment was the welcoming of the China flag at the Kenya National Theatre in Nairobi during a cultural performance that brought Chinese and Kenyan audiences together. At this event, Chinese cuisine also began taking center stage. Panda Chinese Restaurant offered Kenyan audiences an opportunity to experience dishes and flavors that were still relatively unfamiliar to many local diners. Among them were beef strips prepared in soya sauce, offering many Kenyans an early opportunity to experience Chinese-style cuisine. The experience was also distinctly Kenyan. Tusker, the popular Kenyan beer, formed part of the occasion, bringing a familiar local beverage into an event centered on Chinese cuisine and culture. In this small but significant way, the dining experience already reflected the process of cultural adaptation that would later shape the growth of Chinese cuisine in Kenya. As cultural exchange continued, Chinese restaurants began appearing and gaining popularity, particularly around Kilimani and neighboring areas of Nairobi. Restaurants such as Chinese for You, alongside other establishments, became part of a new dining culture. What made some of these restaurants particularly successful was not simply the food. They understood the Kenyan family. Their main customers were largely the growing Kenyan middle class, families who wanted to enjoy an evening out together. The prices were not necessarily cheap, but they were considered affordable for a family dining experience. Many of these restaurants were established on spacious premises, with ample parking and, importantly, children's play areas. Some even provided free nanny services, allowing parents to sit, eat, and engage in conversation with friends while their children were safely looked after. And then came another clever touch. Free ice cream for diners as dessert, together with small gifts when customers settled their bills. Depending on the occasion, these could include Chinese calendars, blankets, or stationery for children, such as drawing books and crayons. These gestures may appear simple, but they created something powerful, an experience. The service was friendly, the environment was welcoming, and the restaurants became more than places to eat. They became places where families celebrated birthdays, companies held end-of-year gatherings, friends met, and relatives came together. Little by little, the clientele grew. Chinese restaurants became associated not only with Chinese food, but also with family, celebration, hospitality, and social connection. And in this way, Chinese cuisine found its own place within Kenya's evolving food culture. What began, in part, through cultural exchange, gradually became a form of everyday cultural diplomacy, not through formal speeches or agreements, but through food, hospitality, shared experiences, and the simple act of sitting together around a table. From those early encounters around the year 2000 to the growing presence of Chinese cuisine across Kenya and other parts of Africa today, the journey demonstrates something important. Food does not simply cross borders. It carries culture with it. And when people are willing to taste, share, adapt, and experience something new together, food can become one of the most powerful bridges between cultures. Now, let us continue our journey to the Ethiopian Gallery, where another remarkable culinary and cultural story awaits us.